I want to live in a safe society, and the most dangerous person for a black man is not the police; it's another black man. And I hate to say that, but that's the truth.
I know you heard about that. The little boy, the 1-year-old boy that was shot outside of the Walmart. They thought the mom was shoplifting. I don't know about what happened, but the little boy was shot. You know who popped up and showed up, but he did not pop up and show up during the Carmelo Anthony trial? You know who it was?
No, I don't. Not
Ben Crump.
Oh,
Ben Crump showed up. I'm like, you'll show up here, and we've been talking about it. Like there was no money to be made in the Carmelo Anthony trial.
Right.
Do you think it's bad or wrong to focus on the issues within the black community that we can fix over external issues? And you kind of talked about this. So external would be racism or some kind of partiality out there, but within our own group, we got degeneracy running amok.
Yeah, we need to talk about black on black crime before we talk about white folk hitting you upside the head with a billy club after a traffic stop. Because look, if you can stop the black on black killing, and it's not just the unaliveness, it's the other stuff. It's the carjacking, it's the robberies, it's the just menacing the neighborhood. No, we need to fix our own issues. If we dealt with our own internal issues, and we hollered and screamed about, how many kids at Juneteenth? Was it 30 black people in
38 people were shot in Chicago. 7 or 8 were killed. But 38 is crazy.
38 people. And and we're not talking about that. We talk about a videotape of Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. I mean, I'm just saying. Who
you're right.
Really care about? Are they here for the sensationalism? Are they here for the I'm a victim again? That allows me to do things that I want to do because you all are victimizing. Let's talk about the 38 people who got shot and killed in Chicago. How about where's their GoFundMe? Where is that at? Where are the prayers out for their family? Where is that? Where is that? We want to avoid. It's just like most people. They want to avoid the hard problem. They want to focus on the easy stuff. Because the hard stuff forces them have to look within themselves. But no, we definitely need to focus on our internal issues before we focus on everything else. Yes, sir. I agree with that.
Let me add this little piece to it. You know who materialized? I know you heard about that. The little boy, the 1-year-old boy that was shot outside of the Walmart. They thought the mom was shoplifting. I don't know about what happened, but the little boy was shot. You know who popped up and showed up, but he did not pop up and show up during the Carmelo Anthony trial? You know who it was?
No, I don't. Not
Ben Crump.
Oh,
Ben Crump showed up. I'm like, you'll show up here, and we've been talking about it. Like there was no money to be made in the Carmelo Anthony trial,
right?
Because there were no cops involved. There were no white people involved. But once the cops were involved, Ben Crump materialized. I said, that's nasty work.
It's more than just the cops. So how that worked, and if you don't mind, I can go back to my wheelhouse and tell you. So
get up in there.
And I'm what property was he shot on?
Walmart.
Okay, so Walmart is worth billions of dollars, and the incident happened on Walmart's property. I'm assuming the police officer either was a direct employee or a contracted employee of Walmart at the time, and therefore you can draw a nexus between negligent training, negligent, hiring practices.
Yeah.
So now you have an angle to sue Walmart for what is probably a hefty settlement. So again, I'm not knocking. I understand. I know what Brother Ben is doing. I've never met Ben Crump, but as a personal injury lawyer, I get why he would,
right.
You see what I mean? It's something, and you wish him well. Surely there needs to be some justice. However, that's pretty transparent in my humble opinion.
And I tell people this all the time. I don't mention it a lot, but I'm originally from Chicago. I can tell you every 3-day weekend.
Wow.
This happens during the summer. This has been going on since I was a kid. So this is not uncommon.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew about this. God have mercy on you if there was a 4-day weekend, bruh. They're gonna be lining them up down the street.
Oh man.
So, and the fact that this is still going on. I'm 52 years old. I remember being 7 hearing about this. And this is still going on in Chicago. And not one thing has changed. But you want me to lose my crash out over what's his name, Rick Cho, and whether or not Asian people really support black folk.
Yeah.
Or you want me to crash out about Carmelo Anthony not supposed to have a knife on the doggone school grounds? You want me to crash out about that? But y'all will not say a word about all, and it's usually, hate to say it, it's usually blacks. It's usually blacks that suffer in Chicago.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there are other people groups that get shot and get caught up in the, but most of the time they're talking about black folk in Chicago. And that's such a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, and I get where black people are coming from, because, here's the thing. Was two arguments. I understand it, but then you have to kind of put it in perspective. A lot of black people take umbrage to police violence because that's not something you can escape by moving out the ghetto. Okay. In other words, you could be a black man with a suit on and riding in a nice car and have a great job and still be pulled over by the police, and the cop may have some racial animus for whatever reason, or may think you're a suspect. I get that. Okay.
I'm gonna push back.
But
I got pushed back.
Still the bigger, go ahead. I was going to say the bigger problem by the numbers is us killing us over trivial things. So when even if that has a valid point, great. That's a valid point. That's about 1,000 people a year. But now you got to talk about the 5,000-6,000, sometimes how many 30,000 people are black
easily.
People? That's who we need to deal with. Okay. Because that is the bigger problem. Like it's like being angry about, it's like, and I don't want to mess up the thing. You angry about something trivial, happened to black, but what about the baby deletion rate? You see what I'm saying? Like, which is the bigger problem? It's like if I have a tiger in my house, is the bigger problem a mosquito or that tiger? That's the question you need to ask yourself.
No, that is a great analogy. Yeah. And the fact that we are past the rate of replacement in many big cities because of baby deletion. So even if we stopped deleting ourselves and our young men stopped killing and such like that, and everybody just died of natural causes, there wouldn't be enough babies born to replace the black folk that are living right now.
Oh, bro.
But I live here. I live north of Atlanta. I live in what's called Cobb County. Now here, I went to Morehouse down in the city, and lots of people. The house. So, wait, you not house, are you?
No, I'm a
okay. I'm about to say
university graduate, but I much respect for Morehouse, man.
Oh yeah,
great and historic. I went to Grambling for my undergrad, Southern to get my first law degree, and Tulane to get my second law degree.
There we go. Shout out.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So
bro.
No. So people always talk about Cobb County. Was it They had some kind of acronym for Cobb, and I said I've lived here for 20 plus years. I've probably been pulled over 3 times. How many times do you think I've gone to jail? How many times do you think my car has gone to car jail? How many times do you think my windows got busted out? I had to call my wife from 1-800 come get me. How many times do you think I know where the bail bondsman is? None, because I don't behave like that. I mean, I don't behave in that manner. I look, license, registration, insurance. Here you go, officer. Thank you, sir. Have a great day. I'm gonna take and I can be mad as fire. I remember one time I was speeding to get my daughter to school, and they caught me. I was speeding past the school zone. He got me. I was not happy. Because but you know what? My daughter didn't hear me acting a fool on the way to school, and I paid that ticket. And I said, I gotta make sure every time I drive by that school now, I remember that ticket, and that's it. And I live somewhere that people and Atlanteans will. AT aliens will tell you in a hot minute that Cobb County is, Cobb County, Cobb County. I've lived here for 20 plus years. Ain't never had a problem like y'all talk about. What are you talking about? The reason y'all got problems because y'all come up here acting crazy and they don't put up with that stuff. Keep your Hellcat south of 20.
And my experience is I've never had any issues with any cop. Even when I was dead wrong, I still, I haven't. Man, let me tell you, there was a situation in 2014 and was on the news here. I was coming out of my law office at the ATM machine. I was getting some money out, and somebody said, "Put your hands up." I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" I put my hands up, and I said, "Oh, it's the cops, HPD, no siren." They were an all black task force, and I put my hands up. I turned around, and I was armed at the time. I had my pistol with me because I have a concealed carry license. And first thing I said, "Oh, okay, there's cops." Well, I have my gun is in my waistband. They took the gun, they put me in handcuffs, they sat me down on the steps in front of my law. I could literally see my name. Okay, but I didn't say anything. I didn't even tell them I was a lawyer at the time. I just said, okay, officer, sure. They let me know that they had got an alarm that somebody was robbing the bank inside, or the alarm went off. And so they came out to investigate because security told them. I didn't get out of line, didn't say anything crazy. They took my arm, my firearm. Eventually they figured out, oh, well, he didn't do anything. It was a false alarm. It was the maid or the cleaning lady. They gave my gun back. They apologized. They gave the black man the gun back. It was nighttime. Did I tell you that? They gave my
at nighttime.
They sent me on my way, and I'm like, thank you, officer. Now I sued them the following Monday because they detained me, and I just thought it was annoying. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure.
But the bottom line is we resolved it out of court, and and it went away. But I survived the encounter. You see what I'm saying? Right. And so, yeah. And here's the thing: you're a law-abiding citizen. You have no reason to be afraid of the cops. You see what I'm saying? They already know pretty much everything there is to know about you once they run the license plate. I told you, if you in the Hellcat, you got tattoos and braids, you probably gonna go to jail. If you got a white beater on and you going to jail. Okay.
Come on, you got to add the wacky tobacco too, though. You got to add the the aroma. You got to add the aroma in the car.
You smell like that strange or that strong, you're gonna go to jail. Loud, you're gonna go to jail. If you're doing crime, more likely than not, you're gonna go to jail. Let me tell you a secret. Let me tell you a big secret, and I know your audience may not know this. A lot of black people are happy that some of these YNs are getting hemmed up and going to jail. You have daughters, and I have sons. And the less of these people, because see, the less of these folk that are out there taking other black people's lives, the more safe, the safer it is for us. And I know that goes against the, our black unity code. I know that. But the bottom line is I want to live in a safe society. And the most dangerous person for a black man is not the police, it's another black man. And I hate to say that, but that's the truth. And so, if it wasn't Anthony Metcalf, it would have been another black boy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the problem, because crime is proximate. More likely than not, that little young man who's in jail right now for 35 years would have ended up around other black people, and he would have still had that emotional issue. And that emotional issue would have caused for him to do something harmful to either a black woman, a black girl, a black boy, or a black man. You see what I'm saying? So
that's a good point.
Yeah. So I don't, again, man, I just speak the truth. People can say what they want to say, but I don't care, because at this point in my age, it's more important for me to focus on my legacy and what I left behind. He spoke the truth. And I'm telling you something else, and I don't want to be, I don't want to hold you up. But I done got carried away with this conversation. You got me in here.
I done got you there talking loud.
In here talking loud. You got me ran my blood pressure up. All these tough questions early in the morning. But man, you mentioned something earlier. The replacement level for Black Americans is 1.3. You need at least 2.1 to replace yourself. And embedded in that is about 25% of people who come from other countries, whether we're talking about Caribbean, African, whatever. So when you really start looking at it, that culture that came out of slavery, those hardworking people that I mentioned, have only about a 0.9% replacement level. So we're a dying race of people. We're a dying culture. And that dilution that I was telling you about is amplified by the fact that you have people who are marrying out, people who are not getting married, people who are moving overseas. Brothers, I know many brothers, I don't want to deal with it. I do not want to deal with anything you had to deal with your kids. Great for you, but they don't want to deal with it. And I understand that. And this is the dilution. And when a culture begins to fail because of degeneracy and nobody's buying into it, this is what you have. And so when you said something earlier, you said, where we going to be in 2030? Well, where we're going to be in 2050 is going to be a lot of missing Black children, because they were never born. Either they were baby deleted or people didn't get together and have them. There's going to be a lot of little mixed children around here look like Steph Curry and Drake. You see what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of that going on. A lot of little kids birthed all around the world. They're going to be in Thailand, Dominican Republic. They're going to be everywhere.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.